The moment you defend yourself, you've already admitted defeat. Every word of justification, every desperate attempt to explain, is a confession that someone else holds the frame, not you. You think you're clearing your name, but in truth, you're lowering your status. The more you try to convince others of your innocence, the more you reveal your dependence on their validation. Picture it. You're in a meeting. Someone calls out your decision in front of everyone. You feel that rush of heat crawl up your neck. Your pulse quickens. Your ego screams for a rebuttal. You can almost hear your internal monologue building the perfect counterattack. Something sharp, logical, impossible to refute. But the instant you open your mouth to defend yourself, you lose power. Because the moment you explain, you confirm their right to question you. Defending yourself is not about truth, it's about control. The one who forces you to justify your actions becomes your psychological superior. They define the frame, and you obey it. It's subtle, but it's real. The need to defend is the need to be seen as good. And in that moment, your power is no longer yours. From childhood, you were programmed to defend. When your parents blamed you, you explained. When teachers misunderstood you, you justified. When friends doubted you, you overproved. Society rewards obedience, not sovereignty. You were raised to seek permission, not respect. And that conditioning still rules you as an adult. It runs so deep that you don't even notice it. Evolution wired you this way. Humans are tribal creatures. We crave acceptance because thousands of years ago, rejection meant exile, and exile meant death. When someone accuses or criticizes you, your body doesn't know the difference between a social threat and a physical one. That rush of heat, that's cortisol. That spike in your chest, that's your ancient biology screaming, survive. And that's exactly why manipulators exploit it. They know that when you feel misunderstood, you'll rush to defend. And that's when you hand them power. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. In The Prince, he wrote, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." The clever never argue head-on. They bait. They provoke. They create illusions that make others destroy themselves through reaction. When someone accuses you, they're not searching for truth. They're testing your composure. The moment you rush to clarify, you expose the chink in your armor. Defense implies guilt. It signals insecurity. It tells the world they've hit a nerve. Watch how this dynamic plays out in modern life. A celebrity posts a controversial opinion and immediately rushes to issue a long, emotional apology. The public doesn't forgive. They smell weakness. Or look at social media arguments. The louder someone explains, the more desperate they appear. The crowd doesn't reward defense. It rewards silence, composure, self-possession. The unbothered stance of someone who does not need to be understood to know their worth. When you defend yourself, you subconsciously kneel. You place your sense of worth in someone else's judgment. You make them the judge and cast yourself as the accused. Every extra word digs the hole deeper. Power doesn't explain. It observes. Power doesn't beg to be seen as right. It acts as if it already is. But what if you didn't defend yourself? What if, when someone accused you, you simply looked at them with calm detachment and said nothing? Imagine that silence. They expect a reaction. Panic, justification, denial. When you deny them that, their frame collapses. You've flipped the power without a single word. That's the essence of the sovereign mindset. The sovereign mindset isn't arrogance. It's not apathy. It's emotional detachment. The quiet confidence of someone whose sense of self is not for sale. A sovereign does not fight to be seen correctly. They don't chase validation or approval. Their worth is internal, not negotiable. They understand that opinions are reflections, not truths. Building this mindset requires one skill above all others: mastering your reactions. When you no longer react to control, you become the control. This is the foundation of psychological dominance, and it can be expressed through precise, simple techniques. Let's explore 9 of them. The first is weaponized silence. Humans are wired to seek resolution. When someone says something provocative and you don't respond, their mind scrambles to fill the silence. It's psychological dissonance. They need closure, and your stillness denies it. If someone says, "So, you just forgot the deadline again?" and you simply look at them, steady and silent, their confidence crumbles. On social media, this works too. When someone comments, "This video is fake," instead of deleting it or replying, you pin their comment. Your silence becomes dominance. You show that their words can live under your spotlight without touching you. The second technique is Amused Mastery. Laughter neutralizes aggression. When you laugh softly in response to provocation, you send one message: "I'm above this." Someone says, "Wow, you really think you're that important?" And you reply with a small smile. Apparently, you do, since we're having this conversation. It's elegant, effortless. You flip their energy back at them. The world respects amusement because it implies control. In the era of cancel culture, those who respond with calm amusement, not outrage, are the ones who survive. The third is the mirror void. This technique disarms manipulative personalities by reflecting their energy without giving them emotion to feed on. If someone says, "You're acting weird lately," you respond, "Interesting that you think that." You've just mirrored their tone while remaining emotionally neutral. Their ego expects pushback, but instead, they're met with fog. They can't find purchase. This is how you psychologically disappear while staying in plain sight. The fourth weapon is the frame inversion. Every conversation has a frame owner, the person defining meaning. When someone tries to corner you, you flip the frame. They say, "You're overreacting." You say, or maybe you're underfeeling. Instantly, they lose their footing. You've redefined reality. The powerful never fight within another's frame. They rewrite it. The fifth is strategic withdrawal. Walking away at peak tension sends a primal signal. You're untouchable. When someone demands, "I can't believe you're ignoring this," and you calmly reply, "Then believe it." Before walking away, the silence that follows is thunderous. Online, when people attack your reputation, sometimes the most powerful move is to vanish. Mystery is oxygen for power. When you disappear, the world projects, and projection builds myth. The sixth technique is fogging. This is psychological judo. You agree with minor truths to remove your attacker's leverage. Someone says, "You always want to be right." You respond, "Sometimes, yeah." The moment you stop resisting, their weapon collapses. You've acknowledged their point without surrendering your frame. It's power through softness. The seventh is the maybe response. Ambiguity frustrates control freaks. They crave certainty. When someone demands, "Did you really say that?" and you calmly reply, "Maybe," you create an open loop. Their mind obsesses over the lack of closure. Power lies in that uncertainty. The truly powerful are always a little unpredictable, impossible to fully pin down. The eighth is the shadow echo. People project their unacknowledged traits onto others. When someone calls you manipulative, what they often mean is, "You're doing what I secretly wish I could." So when accused, you respond. That's an interesting thing for you to notice. You hold up a mirror. You make them face their reflection without saying a single accusatory word. The ninth and final technique is the transparent wind. This is the highest level of detachment. When nothing sticks to you. You stop trying to win. You stop trying to be understood. You become like air, unseen, unfazed, ungraspable. No one can hold power over what cannot be contained. At this level, attacks lose meaning because you've transcended the need for validation entirely. Defense, at its core, is attachment. It's the ego crying, "Please see me as good." But when you kill that need, you step into a higher form of power, quiet, still, and deeply magnetic. Carl Jung called this shadow integration, owning the parts of you that used to beg for understanding. Machiavelli called it mastery of appearance. Both point to the same truth. Power doesn't justify, it doesn't explain, it simply is. To embody this truth, here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, don't defend yourself, not once. When someone questions you, pause. When someone misunderstands you, observe. Let your silence speak. The discomfort you feel is your ego detoxing from dependency. Each moment you resist the urge to explain, you rewire your nervous system for dominance. By the end of the week, people will sense something different. They'll speak to you more carefully. They won't know why, but they'll feel it. Because power is energy, and yours will have changed. Do not subscribe because I told you to. Subscribe because you're done being prey in a world that rewards predators. You've seen behind the curtain now. You understand that power isn't loud, emotional, or defensive. It's quiet, grounded, and sovereign. This is power psychology. This is the art of control. This is NoirMachiavelli.